Hello everyone, my name is Jacob, and today I should be building the French Char B1 tank in Minecraft. So the Char B1, as I said, it is a French tank. It was produced in the interwar period towards the start of World War II. That's like in the 30s, I guess. It is quite an interesting tank, and that's pretty much what I chose it for this build. It has a 2-gun setup. It has a 75 millimeter howitzer in the hull, mounted sort of in between the tracks, and then as you can see up top, it's got a turret onto which is attached a 47 millimeter gun. So it was first developed with only the howitzer, and it was sort of intended as a self-propelled artillery, I guess. But they figured that they could make it a good sort of breakthrough tank, I guess. I believe it was intended for that role, so just breaking through enemy lines, because of course the French thought that another war would be fought the same way as the first one was, so basically trench warfare, and they wanted to have a tank that could easily pass through enemy defenses like trenches, so they came up with this thing, and it was quite a good tank for its time. It wasn't really that outdated. It had decent armor, so it also had quite a big gun, the 75 millimeter, and that's what made it quite a good tank destroyer, especially against the early German tanks at the start of World War II. And of course, after the French surrender, the tanks were no longer in use. I believe the Germans used them against the Russian tanks, I believe, and they converted some of them as well. But they weren't really used that much. They had quite a few of them. They built quite a few of them, like 400, I believe. So they weren't really that rare, but quite interesting. So anyway, today we're gonna build one, and let's go ahead and start. Okay, so as you can see, this tank is still quite a typical World War I design. In that it has this track that goes along the hull, so on the bottom and on the top. What is different, of course, that it has a turret, which the World War I tanks didn't have, except for the light ones. If I didn't say, this is a heavy tank. It is considered a heavy tank. So anyway, let's go ahead and start the build on this. So I built it in this green color, and I believe it fits it quite well. Now you could make it camo as well. I believe the French had quite a few different camo patterns for this tank. So you know what, we'll make the other one camo as well. So let's go ahead and put the basics down, and then we'll do the camo as well. So the way I've built this is, as you can see, for the track I've used nether brick blocks and slabs. So we've got basically the hull bit here, and it's just touching the ground, because I can't put a track underneath that. And then we have this sort of shape on the side, and then we have some slabs underneath here. This is just to create a bit of a gap between the slab, or actually to cover up the gap between the slab, which is the track, and the rest of the hull. So we have this sort of bit here, and then we can build a track. So we have a slab there, and then we have one. No, that's not gonna work. We have one there, and then we have a block on the front bit there. We have another slab on top of that, and then another one there. And then on the back we have one at the bottom there. We have a block right here, and we also have a slab underneath there. Okay, and then the track, as I said before, goes right on top of the hull. So we have a row of blocks that just go over the top, and then we have a couple more slabs, and that's pretty much our track, the side of our tank basically. And let's do the other side, I guess. So we're gonna move 2 blocks away, so I can just space it out like that, and then we're gonna put down the exact same sort of blocks. So we have some on top there, just a row there. We don't have that one, and then we're gonna do the track again like that, and on the other side as well. There we go. I should put this right here. There we go. And then a block on top, and one here on this side, and a slab. There we go. And we have a row of blocks and a couple of slabs. Okay. So before I forget, I'm gonna put down some ladders. These are gonna go on the sides, and these are supposed to be vents for the engine, I guess. And we have some item frames. Where are they? We have some item frames on the powered wheels. There we go. On the, I guess it's a sprocket. I'm not sure what the wheel that transfers the power to the track is called necessarily. So anyway, we have our tracks here, and we're gonna build the rest of the bottom of the hull, I guess. So we're gonna have some blocks there. We're just gonna fill this in because we can do that, and then on top of that we're gonna have let's see, a furnace that's gonna go right there, and we're gonna have a stone slab right next to it. So this is gonna be, of course, the viewport, and then we're gonna build the rest of the hull just like so. There we go, and it sort of tapers down towards the end. We also have another radiator there, and that's pretty much it for our hull. As you can see, if I didn't put a turret on it, it would very much look like a World War I tank, like the British ones. So let's put on the 75mm gun first, and then we'll do the turret later. So I can't really do a proper sort of gun like that. I could just put a block there, but that doesn't look like anything, because on the real one it doesn't stick past the end of the hull. It's just sort of there in the middle, because the front of the hull tapers down, and there's the gun. It is very short, so I can't really replicate it other than just put down a skeleton skull like that. That's pretty much the closest I can get. So anyway, that's gonna represent our big gun, and then we have a turret there, very simple, with a stone slab on top, and we're gonna put down our second gun there, with a machine gun that goes on the side there, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, we can make this camo now as well. Before I forget, so let's bring out some nice sort of brown blocks. We have those are really dark. Let's see how do these look. These are quite nice. Yeah, I'm gonna put these in. So let's start on the sides there. I'm gonna have it here, and then I'm gonna have to put these there, and let's have one here as well. And then there we go, like so. Okay, and then we have some right here at the back, and we have one there, and there, and I'm not sure how I'm doing it. It's not really stripes here. I'm just sort of randomly placing blocks, but I kind of like it actually, so that's kind of nice. We have some there, and let's have some here, and there. There you go. And do some on the turret as well, and the front bit. There we go. I believe that's pretty much it. So anyway, the Char B1, it looks kind of good actually, pretty nice. So a very cool tank. I'm always fascinated by these interesting and different sort of tanks, and definitely sort of in the interwar period there were the most sort of interesting different ones, because people were just trying to figure out what was the best. When sort of World War II kicked off, most of the countries had pretty much the best shape for a tank figured out. They knew that this thing, for example, would look, or a modern tank would look like this thing, but in the interwar period they didn't really know. Part of that is, of course, as I said before, they weren't really aware of what kind of warfare, what warfare would look in a new war, and all of the designs pretty much reflect that, I guess, because in the end everything that is used in a war, it is sort of designed exactly for that type of war, I guess, and if it is not designed for that type of war, it is probably very unsuccessful. So anyway, I thought I'd bring you this interesting and cool tank, a French tank, and I guess stay tuned for other weird and wacky vehicles from all of the periods where vehicles were made. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did so, you can press the like button and subscribe to my channel. You can also check out my other videos, and I will see you next time.